the Fanpack, this is great. You know, I've been working actually quite a lot over the last couple of weeks on email with Jeff Barton. And I've also been working a lot on email with Ross Halfin and his assistant Kaz, picking out photographs. And it's ironic that those two people, Ross Halfin and Jeff Barton, came to see Def Leppard when it all started off. I mean, I'd been writing to Jeff in 1979, come and see Def Leppard, and he just didn't want to drive up the M1 and come all the way to Sheffield, but eventually he did. And from that moment onwards, all of a sudden we started getting some really serious coverage.
Well, back in the day, I think that a lot of the music papers were very London-centric. It was very, very difficult to get anybody to go north of Watford, really. He finally got me up to Sheffield. We didn't drive up the M1, we got a train up. And Joe met us in a white escort van, if I remember, which he borrowed from wherever he worked. There was only 2 seats in there, so I sat in the front, and the photographer Ross Halfin had to go, you know, we had to open the back doors and bundle him in the back. And he took us to this place called Crook's Working Men's Club, which was a typical, South Yorkshire working men's club. Leppard had their own little stage there with a sort of hand-drawn Def Leppard banner. And one thing I do remember incredibly clearly was the fact that obviously the drinks were subsidised, and a whiskey and coke was 25 pence. So, you know, this was a bit of an eye-opener, to be honest with you. So me and Ross, the photographer, had indulged ourselves, shall we say, for this bargain price booze, and by the time Leppard came on the stage, we were well on our way. They were fantastic, Def Leppard, absolutely fantastic. Joe, I think, must have been at that point 19, possibly 20 years old. Rick Allen, obviously the drummer, 14, 15. You know, it's very rare, I think, that you see a band in that kind of environment, and then they just blow your socks off, you know. So I remember after the show, we went back to Joe's parents' house, which was in Crooks Road, which was just down the road from Crook's Working Men's Club. And we had tea and sandwiches that his mum had made, and just had a general chat about things, you know. And Joe was incredibly grounded for such a young kid, you know. With hindsight, it was pretty obvious that he was quite driven as well, you know, and that he really believed that he could take this, you know, this little band, this little Sheffield band, to the next level, to the Hammersmith Odeons, to the LA Forums. You know, I think he genuinely had that belief.
The Fanpack is basically 140 odd pages of everything that you need to know about Def Leppard and more, and the brand new album with 2 bonus tracks that are not available on the regular version of the record.
This was a very personal thing to me. Having seen the band so many years ago, I just didn't want to F it up. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to make it something special that the band would like, that the fans would enjoy. You know, we've got all new interviews with all 5 members. We've got all the albums re-reviewed and reassessed. We've done a very interesting piece on Mutt Langer, the reclusive producer who did Pyromania, Hysteria, etc., etc. So there's a lot of good stuff in the magazine.
It really is a fan pack. It's there for the discerning Def Leppard fan to be able to read historical articles about the band and our take on our new record and you know, a lot of stuff about our past and hopefully a lot of stuff about our future as well. The one thing about that song, as opposed to everything else on the album, or anybody that's ever been in a band and had a song that they've lived with for a while but then ended up rewriting parts of it, I sang the lead vocal to a completely different backing track. It was vastly different.